Hi friends, welcome to IT Port. In this session we are going to see about what is the differences between the after trigger and instead of triggers in SQL Server. After triggers fire after the execution of an action query that can be either DDL statements like create, alter and drop, or DML statements like insert, update and delete. So after trigger fire after the execution of an action query only. So instead of triggers fire before the execution of an action query, there can only be DML statements like insert, update, delete. So instead of triggers does not support for the DDL statements. So it only supports for DML statements like insert, update and delete, but after the execution of the query, and the table data will not be affected. In other words, if you want to insert or update the data of the table, then you need to write in the trigger using inserted or deleted virtual tables. So these are the differences between after and instead of triggers. After triggers fires after the execution of an action query, and instead of triggers fire before the execution of an action query. Let us check with the simplest example for this. Here going to create one table, student ID and student name and student log. This table used to store the log for what are the actions performed in the student table, student ID and the action name, action time. So just create the trigger for insert your student on student table after insert. Just insert into student log, select student ID, inserted, action and click it from inserted. So just create the trigger. So this trigger for after insert. Just get the detail from inserted and insert into the log. See, it's a simple example. Insert into student ID 1 values 1 and name is Arun. Just select from student and student log. So this trigger fire after the execution of an action query insert, and within this trigger we just insert the student log. So the student table contains the data and student log contains the log for the student. So this is the after trigger. So just I drop this trigger and create this is as a instead of insert. See, wow. See, there is no data on student table, actual table, but there is a log for student log, because this was performed before the action query. Here the action statement insert does not executed, because within this insert of scope we just write to insert the student log from the inserted virtual tables. So this will not affect the data. If you want to insert the data within the student, you have to insert student values in student name from inserted, then only it will execute it. See, insert with 3 David. See, now only the data affected and the student table and the log was maintained. So this is a simplest example for differences between after trigger and insert of triggers. So after trigger fires only after the execution of an action query, and the insert of triggers fire only before the execution of an action query, and the insert of query will not affect the table data. If you want to insert or delete to the table, we need to write within this trigger again. So this topic will be very useful to you. If you like this lesson, please like and subscribe. Thank you, friends.